Hi guys, it's Omega, and a few videos back, I think a couple videos back, I had told you all about the Misti stamping tool that I had just received, and I was going to come back to let you know how I like it and show you a little bit of how to use it. So the Misti, the name of the tool is Misti, and that stands for Most Incredible Stamping Tool Invented. So that's the claim of the inventor of the tool. So I'll just let you know what I think about it and show you a little bit about it. So the Misti is pretty much a box, like an acrylic box that is pretty sturdy. It has hinges on one side, and this lid comes up here to put your stamps on. So the way it works is it has a grid here so that you can kind of position your projects. This grid is etched into the top of the lid. Now the first versions of the Misti had this grid screen printed on the top, and because of that they also supplied a clear vinyl sheet that you would have to put on over the top to save the grid from wearing off. With the etched grid, there's no need for that because this simply will not wear off because it's etched into the acrylic. So what comes with the Misti is the two magnets here, and these are to help hold your projects in place while you stamp. Now, I actually ordered some additional magnets. I ordered 3 additional magnets. You can get them in sets of 3. But you do have to be careful using them because they are very, very strong. And as a matter of fact, I broke one today because as I was kind of taking them loose, I wasn't careful, and one slammed really hard into the other and broke in half. So the magnets are breakable. You have to be careful with them. Actually, even handling them, make sure you keep them separate because they can pinch your fingers. They can pinch your skin. So ask me how I know that. You have to be careful because it will pinch if you get that slammed on your skin. But so it comes with the magnets, and I'm going to lay these off to the side here for a moment. What also comes with it is this foam. Is about probably 1/8 of an inch thick or so. The foam is there for when you're using the clear acrylic stamps, like the ones I'm going to show you today. So this is the clear stamps, and really using them with the clear stamps are really, really easy. So these are just some close to my heart stamps that I just received not long ago. And I'm going to show you how to use the Misti with those. And then I'm also going to show you how to use the Misti with the stamps like these. These are some Stampin' Up! Stamps. They're rubber, but they have the foam backing already on them with the cling on the back side. When you're using this type of stamp with the foam on it, you can remove this because the foam is why you need, you know, you don't need it on these, but on the clear stamps, you need the foam because they don't have that backing on it. So I'm going to show you both ways. And what there's a border around here, measuring tools around here. You have 1 to 6 inches, 1 to 6 inches on either side, 1 to 8 inches here. But the interior of the tool is 6.5. I think I measured it 6.5 by 8. Yeah, the actual inside of the tool is 6.5 by 8.5. So this interior is 6.5 by 8.5. and it has a magnetic bottom in there. Now what you can see here is that the grid is printed on the bottom here, and so that's not going to wear off because it's underneath. You can also get these sheets that you can use over and over again if you want to have those. I did get a pad of them, but I so far have not even used these with the grids already provided, so that was probably not necessary. But I'm going to start off showing you how this all works with the clear stamps, and then I'll show you how I kind of use it with the foam stamps. And again, with the foam stamps, because you can't see as well how to match these up, it's still a little difficult to use, but it still works. You can get it fairly well matched up. Okay, so I'm going to start off doing the first stamping with the clear stamps. So I'm going to place my paper on, and I have it pushed right up against the left edge here, and have my magnets pretty close together, but not so close that they touch because they will cling really tight. And then what I'm going to do is place my solid image where I would like to stamp it, and I'll pick that up with the lid. And this stamp is really sticky, so it did lift my paper a little. At this point it doesn't matter. Later it will matter. But what you do with the solid one is use a lighter color ink first. So I want to make sure my stamp is well covered with my light ink. I'm sorry, trying to get everything in frame here. Then I will put down that color. That was my Regal Rose ink by Stampin' Up. Lift that up, and still my paper is pulling up. And then what I'm going to do is stamp the detailed image on next. So I need to get this as lined up as I can on the image so that it will stamp directly over that image. Now what I'm going to do with the next one is use a darker color. So that is the detailed stamp. Sorry, pulling the wrong one. This is called Real Red, so it's red against that kind of a strawberry red color. Got that inked up pretty good. And I'm going to close the lid. I did get some ink other places, but it won't matter here. And just go over that real good. And there you can tell that, as a matter of fact, I see around the edge where I missed a little. So here's the beauty of this stamping technique, is that you can go over it again. So I'm going to do it again. Just around this top edge, looks like I didn't have it inked well. So I'm going to stamp that again. It goes right over the image again. And there, I've got everything pretty well stamped. And there you can see the rose with the two step process. Came out pretty good as far as lining that up. So that's how that works with the double stamping of the flowers. What I do need to do here is remove the foam. So when I'm using stamps that have the foam backing, I remove the foam from the platform here because you don't need it. I'm going to insert my paper once again directly on the bottom platform there. Let me get back in focus here. And now I'm going to stamp again using the Stampin' Up! Stamps. Now I'm just going to lay it here about where I would want to stamp. Pick it up with the lid. Again, using the solid stamp first, I am going to use the strawberry. This is the strawberry, no, I'm sorry, Regal Rose color of Stampin' Up! Ink. Stamp that down. Just want to make sure that absorbs really good on the paper. And that did really well. Then what I want to do is stamp this image over that. Now, it is still a little difficult matching this up because as you can see, these stamps have a little bit of a margin there. If you can see around that. So it's not going to be as perfect as it should be because of that, but I'm going to line it up as well as I can. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. I'm going to give it a shot. Pick it up with the lid. I'm going to use my real red and see how well we get with that. Stamp down on it. And that did pretty good. Pretty good. And let me show you up close with this one. So that's an up close of the Stampin' Up! Stamps using the double stamping process. So now using this stamp set, I am going to show you a sentiment and a cupcake. And I'm going to show you how double stamping can help with that. I'm going to pick up my stamps. And again, these close to my heart stamps are very sticky, which means they hold, they grab ink really, really well. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to stamp the bottom of this cupcake with, I'm going to use one of these markers that's made for rubber stamps. And then on the top, I'm going to do it in one of these pink colors. So I'm going to show you how this works really well for that. I just want to color the bottom half. I'm going to color the bottom half of this. That way. And I may have to stamp it twice to get a good image. But I'm going to stamp it with that, kind of brownish on the bottom. And then I'm going to do kind of a pinkish color on the top. I'm going to actually do this one later, just so you can see what I'm doing here. So I'm coloring two colors on this. And I'm going to stamp it twice. Now, one of the things I do when I'm using one of these markers, I don't know if you're able to see that very well, but I huff on it just to put the moisture back. And as you can see, hopefully you can see that really well, the coloring isn't as even as it needs to be. So I'm going to do it again. And that's going to go ahead and get that. I didn't outline my cupcake very well either there. And I'm going to color the bottom part again. See, it shows you how great it is to be able to do this. Okay. So I'm going to stamp this again. After having colored it, I'm going to go over this one more time. And you'll see why this is a good technique here. I just huffed on it a little bit, but I think you'll see where this is going to come out much better. There we go. So a much better image on that cupcake using the 2 color of markers. I still have a little edge here that I didn't get very well. So let me see here. See if I can fix that. This time I'm just trying to get this little edge. See if I can get that straightened out. Yep, it did it. So that's another use when you're double stamping. I am going to show you using now some words, and I'll go over it twice. And what I'll do is the first time I will purposely not stamp as well, so you can see what I mean about, you know, kind of getting a better image when you do the double stamping. So I'm going to use black ink with this sentiment. I want this sentiment in black. So I'm just going to pick that up with my lid. I'm going to ink it up. Stamp it. And it actually got a pretty good image, but I'm going to go over it again just to show you that you can get a really, really clear image when you don't. So that's going to stamp right over the same image again. And as you can see there, it's, I mean, crystal clear image there when you have a sentiment that hasn't stamped out quite as clear the first time. So I'm going to do one more here so you can see what I mean. Let's see here. I'm just going to go sideways with this one. I'm going to pick that one up. This is going to show a lot of black or whatever color you're using. So I'm going to pick that one up. Now see, that shifted quite a bit. I hope when the ink is on there it doesn't. So I can really show you here. So I'm going to go over that. And so I'm going to do this one spotty so you can see the difference. So I'm going to ink that. I mean stamp that, sorry. And good. So as you can see, that image did not come out quite as clear as you would like it to on a project. Now I'm going to ink it up really good. This is what I wanted to show you. How now it's going to really get that image perfect. Stamp down again. Let me clean the ink off of this edge here. So I'm stamping that again. I'm going to let it set for a minute. And there you can see a perfectly good image. Now, as you saw the first time, it wasn't very clear. It didn't stamp very well. Second time around, it stamped perfect. Sorry, I'm getting ink everywhere. I'm putting my thing down in the wrong place. My lid. So there you have a perfect image there. So that's where this really comes in handy. Now I just smeared that with my hand because it wasn't dry good, but it did stamp very well. That is very good proof of how well it works stamping second time to get a good image. Then you don't want to make the mistake of dragging it with your finger, because that's what I did to smear that. But, and this again did pretty well. I was using markers to color the bottom and then coloring the top separately, and I stamped it twice, so it gave me a better image second time around. So guys, I just wanted to share with you the Misti, and I've enjoyed using it, especially for the main reason I got it in the first place was for, you know, how many times I've stamped and not gotten a good image the first time. Like, for example, I'm all done with my project, all done with my card or whatever, and I go to stamp my sentiment and mess up. So that will be prevented by having this double stamping. I can stamp it down. If it doesn't get a good clear image, I can just do it again. And that will save a lot of frustration. But I just wanted to share that. I do enjoy using it. I haven't used it in an extreme amount yet, but there's other techniques that you can learn. So what I would say is just search the Misti on YouTube, and you can find lots of other videos, you know, showing different techniques that you can use the Misti for. So anyway, I just wanted to share, guys. So I will talk to you later, and I'll be back soon. Thanks for watching, and thanks for stopping by. Talk to you later. Bye.